All right, Rob, let's get right to it. This is a fun topic of yours because you like to jump on Tom Brady, but maybe more than even him, maybe. You love lighting into the man of the hour, at least until, for the next couple days.
No, they're having a parade in L.A. Are you kidding? People in L.A. are like, they thought they got the Messiah. The Savior has showed up in L.A. Wow.
Matt Stafford, or as Rob Parker likes to call him, Stat Padford, traded to the L.A. Rams for Jared Goff, straight up QB for QB. Although the Rams also parted with a third-round pick from this next year and 2 first-round picks from the following 2 seasons. So they gave up quite a bit. I'm going to put it out to you, Rob. What do you think?
I understand that they obviously fell out of love with Jared Goff, right? And his turnovers and whatever was going on. It's a guy who got you to the Super Bowl, Chris. We talked about it. I mentioned it a few times. Him and Gurley and those receivers, they had the 5th greatest offense in the history of the NFL. They were rolling at one point.
Feels like ancient history.
No, I got it. It's been a couple years
ago, 3 years ago.
But to give up that haul for Matthew Stafford, who on the flip side played 12 years in Detroit, no playoff wins, no division, never won a division, not even once, had a good year and beat out the Packers or the Bears or the Vikings for the division in 12 years. And he has the nickname Stat Padford in Detroit for a reason. Because
did you come up with that or did somebody else?
It was like kicked around. Different people would say different things on the radio, and then I just kind of grabbed it and corralled it and said, that's spot on. You know what I mean? And that really describes him. And when you look at his numbers, and somebody did a great chart about him and even opposite Jameis Winston, their first 5 years in the league. The numbers are almost identical. One guy gets a big trade to a contender. The other guy was out of a job looking to be a backup somewhere. And it's just funny when you look at the comparison. But anyway, when Stafford got to Detroit, and Chris, I watched him from day one. I was there when he was drafted.
Right.
I've watched this guy for years now, not the last 5 closely because I live in L.A. now, but his first 7 years in his career I watched very closely. And I used to travel with the Lions. So this is not somebody who's just looking at box scores, you know what I mean, and looking at highlights. I think when you watch SportsCenter, the biggest problem with watching SportsCenter or any kind of national highlight show, Chris, is what is it?
You only see
it's a highlight show, right? So you watch and you go, look at that throw by Stafford. Look at that play. And your vision and your idea of him is different from people who watch the entire game and watch what they do.
Let me throw this at you. I don't want to cut you off, but let me throw this at you. Because in 2016, I believe it was, he had, Rob G, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he had 8 game-winning drives, which is, I believe, an NFL record for a season. That is correct, Rob G? So what is your thought on that, Rob? I mean, because I hear
what was that record?
They were 9-7. 9-7.
And what they do? They make the playoffs?
Look, in 2014, he was 11-5, 7-9 the year after that, then 9-7 in that year with all the game-winning drives, and 9-7 the following year. Those were the years with Jim Caldwell. I'm excited, and you've seen more of him than me. There's no question about it.
And here's the other. Let me just throw this out before you finish. And here's the last one. This is the one that should scare you, and I get it. The Rams are not the Lions; they're a different team. 10-66 against teams with winning records that finished the season. He doesn't beat the good teams. Yeah,
but how much of that is because he's been on pretty bad teams?
No, I'm telling you that it's not all on the defense, on the running back. I'm telling you part of it is Stafford as well. I mean, there's no way.
He's only had a top 10 defense once in his career, and that year they went 11-5. And here's what I'll say about it ultimately, Rob. I think it's an upgrade for the Rams. I do think he's better than Jared Goff. I think he's very good in the play action. I think he's got a very strong arm. I like him. And with that team around him, a good running game, obviously a strong defense, a good receiving core. I am excited to see, Rob, what this guy can do in a good situation. I think Sean McVay, even though he's kind of fallen off, his reputation's taken a hit the last couple years, but I do think he's a good, innovative offensive coach. And I want to see Stafford. Now, maybe he will turn out to be what you say he is. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, he's going to be great. But I do want to see him in a better situation. There are quarterbacks that can lift everybody. And I think
not
Tom
that
Brady
guy.
He's not. He's clearly not that guy. But he doesn't have to be that guy in L.A.
Yeah, but that's the part that should worry you. The first overall pick, 12 years, Chris. I'm not saying that he had to win a Super Bowl for it to be a success in Detroit. There were situations where Stafford had a chance in Dallas. They got the ball back, 2.5 minutes to go. They led the Cowboys 20-7 in that playoff game, Chris, in Dallas in 2014 or 15. Maybe January of 2015. They led 20-7 in that game. They had a chance to win the playoff game in advance. Right. What did they do? Stafford went scoreless after a field goal in the final 18.5 minutes. That's where those are the moments I'm talking about. So you could say, they don't have a great
to moments like that for virtually.
No, I'm just saying. But when you have a 0 next to your name, is what I'm saying is like you cannot only put this on everybody else and Stafford gets no blame. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I agree with that. Like I said, he's not a guy that you can put anybody around him and he's going to eventually, over a few years, lift them to great heights. However, if he's a guy that with talent around him can really play well, then that's really all they need right now in LA. Now, all that said, Rob, I think both teams made a good trade. I think it makes the Rams better.
I think the Lions fleeced them. I do.
Well, I don't think they fleeced them. I think they got – if I had to pick a winner of the trade, I would go with the Lions because, look, they weren't any good with Stafford, right? So
no, they made the right decision. You got to move on. You know what I'm saying? You just can't hold on to a guy and be afraid to move on when it hasn't worked, Chris. No matter what you can say whatever you want. You guys haven't won a playoff game, haven't won a division. What are you afraid of?
What do
you can do that without him.
You're not going to be any good with him,
right?
And they got 2 first-round picks out of it. And here's the thing too. Remember the GM. He was in L.A. He's been in L.A. Well, even back to when they were in St. Louis, the Rams.
No, right. He was a scout. He's been around there, right?
Yes. He knows Goff. Now, whether he's right or wrong, he likes Goff. He thinks he's better than McVay thinks he is. And Dan Campbell likes Goff. So if they can, a new scenery for Goff, obviously there's going to be more belief in him in Detroit than McVay ended up having. And so you got at least a pretty good quarterback. And you got 2 first-round picks over the next few years. So I do think that the Lions got the better of the deal. But I like it for both because the Rams weren't going anywhere with Goff. But here's the thing, and why I ultimately think Detroit won the trade. If you're the Rams, it's Super Bowl or bust. Not necessarily this year, although this is one of the years. But, over the next few, you got to win. You got to a Super Bowl, were a playoff team with Goff. So the only thing better than that is winning a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Like getting to the playoffs and losing with Stafford doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You've already done that. You did that with Goff. He played against Green Bay.
Picks.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
You already saw that, right.
And I would look, I'm going to give them a chance, but they're by no means, they got the NFC on lock now. No, not at all. I still you put Green Bay ahead of them. If Brady doesn't fall off, you put Tampa Bay ahead of them. And that division they're in is tough.
You still got Seattle. You still got a number of teams in the NFC.
Arizona, if Murray keeps ascending, So, it's we'll see how this works out. But I do think within the next 3-4 years, it's Super Bowl or bust for the Rams, and we'll see if they get it done. Does Stafford make the Rams the favorite out in the NFC? Or did Lions, as Rob said, fleece them? Your turn to weigh in. Let's see what you think.
All right, jump in. Let's start with Ty in Palm Springs. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
What's
Doing
up,
good.
brother?
I could not agree with Rob's take more. It seems like there's this weird thing going on where across social media and a bunch of platforms, people seem to, on one hand, kind of have forgotten how good Deshaun Watson is and, like, vastly overstate how good Matt Stafford is.
It's amazing.
What does this have to do with this? I haven't seen anybody say that they think Matt Stafford's better than Deshaun Watson.
No. That's not that assertion, and you guys probably don't pay nearly as much attention to social media as I do. But just like in the Twitter sphere, it's crazy how many people I've seen say what wouldn't be worth a trade for Deshaun Watson. And people are saying this is such a blockbuster trade for Stafford. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But did this dude not have 4 winning seasons in 12 years in Detroit? And I know the organization's horrible and all of that. But a good quarterback is worth some wins just on his own, I think.
By himself. No doubt about it. And that's where Stafford.
The top-level quarterbacks.
Right. I mean, but this guy was the first overall pick. Even if you say, look at Matt Ryan.
Ryan's a good – I was going to say, Matt Ryan's a good quarterback.
Matt Ryan won an MVP. Matt Ryan got to the Super Bowl. I know
but
Atlanta –
he's had some bad years too.
No doubt about it, Chris. But that's the point, is that Stafford could have had a great year or two. It doesn't mean – I'm not saying he had to have 12 great years in Detroit. He just underachieved, and people have seemed to gloss over that. That's what I think is what Ty is talking about. Steve in El Paso, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys. Hey, first off, I just wanted to compliment you, too. Whenever you guys are calm and just talking nice, I appreciate it. When you guys start getting all wound up over Brady issues, man, I gotta go somewhere else.
We got a Brady topic coming up in hour 2.
All right, we're not going to get
Tom
crazy
Brady
today.
could do that.
No, Tom can't. But
Steve,
it's just passion,
all
man.
on Rob. It's all on Rob. I can be cool all day. It's Rob Parker.
Hey, Steve, if you want me to dial it down, I could be a dial tone like a lot of these other guys.
Well, don't go all the way down. Don't let him go all the way down.
You guys do just fine. I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right.
But, hey, here's my take. I've been a lifelong Rams fan, and I'm looking back to the time in 1999 when they traded for Marshall Faulk from the Colts. Now, I'm hopeful that Stafford and a new change of pace, I mean, Faulk was good in Indianapolis, but they didn't go anywhere either until he goes to the Rams and they become the greatest show on turf. Of course, a lot of things have to fall into place.
Right.
But look at what Indianapolis got out of that, too. They ended up with Peyton Manning and a whole host of draft picks, and they ended up winning Super Bowls as well. So I'm hoping that both teams here are going to benefit, and I'm hoping that Stafford gets a nice change of pace, and maybe with the right offensive system and the right ownership supporting that, maybe he'll make a difference now. That's my hope.
And if he doesn't, Steve, your team is going to be in trouble as years go on because of the picks and the cap hits. They keep signing people to big contracts and then eating them. I mean, this is front office. This is to make the boy genius, McVay.
I don't know why they gave him that deal when they did. And it was the same with Gurley. Like, Gurley was definitely early. Like, why? You didn't have to do it. Wait another year.
Because they always feel like the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. It's like the Dak Prescott thing. I know what you're saying, Chris.
See, look at those, because you would always say they believed in Wentz. They believed in Goff. They were wrong with both of them. I mean, we'll see but you know what I mean? They both regret those right now.
Yeah, but that's the way you do it. When you have a guy, remember, Chris, to say you don't want to sign a quarterback who just led you to the Super Bowl. He didn't just win a playoff game or have a good season. It's hard to justify that. That's all I'm saying. It's not like I'm just saying that they gave up on him so quick.
Yeah.
Mike in Los Angeles, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Oh, okay. Albert in Honolulu, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Albert?
Aloha, fella.
Hey,
What's up,
Albert,
man?
let me tell you.
Who doesn't love Hawaii?
Hey, this weekend when I was in New York in the hotel, there must have been a Hawaiian couple in the room next to me. You know why?
Why is that?
I kept hearing the woman say, luau, luau.
Oh, that was corny. Good dad joke, though, bro.
He's not even a dad, but he tells dad jokes.
I know, right? I got a dad bod, though. That's all right. All right. That's Big Daddy. Good, Albert.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, I would definitely have to agree with you here, Rob. Definitely, LA got fleeced. I mean, they gave up draft picks first off to move up to get Goff. Now they gave up draft picks to get rid of him. And I wouldn't say that Stafford is necessarily an upgrade to give up. I think they gave up about 8 or 9 draft picks in all.
They gave up 2 first-rounders and a third-rounder this upcoming year.
So I don't know
well,
we can say definitely that LA got burned twice. First off, for moving up to get him, then giving up all those draft
only
picks.
place I disagree with you, I think Stafford is an upgrade over Goff. Now, we'll see.
I'm not convinced because Goff got to the Super Bowl. Stafford can't even win a playoff game. So, Chris, I would say to you, thanks, Albert, for the call. If Stafford, say, lost a playoff game or something, he didn't play that great, or what would, like you just said, basically he would have to win get to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl.
Over the next few years, not next year necessarily.
He's got 2 years left on his contract.
Get to a Super Bowl because you could have been pretty good with Jared Goff.